Look at example 4. So the questions asked for a second line in the Balmer series. Okay. So Balmer series, as we know that the 4 to n is equals to 2. So the second line is, so first line is 3 to 2. So second line, of course, from n is equals to 4 to n is equals to 2. Calculate the wavelength in nanometer. So before we start these questions, so I want you to memorize all the 6 formula that you have to memorize. So the first formula is E is equals to negative RH 1 over N1 squared. The second formula is delta E is equals to RH 1 over N1 squared minus 1 over N2 squared. The third formula is E is equals to HV. The fourth formula is V is equals to C over lambda. The fifth formula is E is equals to HC over lambda. And the last formula is 1 over lambda RH 1 over N1 squared minus 1 over N2 squared. Okay, so for these questions, okay, so dia minta wavelength. Okay, so kita ada maklumat, ada 2 values of n. So if you look at the first formula, only 1 n. So tak perlulah guna formula number 1. Okay, so awak cari mana formula yang ada 2 n dan dia minta wavelength. Wavelength tu adalah lambda. So formula mana? Okay, formula number 2 ada n tapi dia E. Formula number 3 tak ada n. Formula number 4 tak ada n. Formula number 5 tak ada n. So formula number 6 ada n dan juga ada lambda. So the right chosen for these questions is using the formula number 6. So kita come out dengan the formula of number 6. This one is for A. 1 over lambda equals to RH 1 over N1 squared minus 1 over N2 squared. So 1 over lambda, RH value for lambda is 1.097 times 10 to the power of 7. This one in unit per meter. Okay, since that lambda is a panjang, so panjang we have a positive value. So positive, to make it a positive value, so yang besar must be minus with yang kecil lah. So of course 1 over 2 squared minus 1 over 4 squared. Kalau awak letak 4 squared minus 2 squared, dia akan jadi negatif. Mana ada panjang negatif? Okay, so you calculate, you dapat dalam unit meter. Since that this one is dalam unit meter. Okay, so dapatlah lambda berapa. So the question asks the final answer must be in nanometer. Okay, so how to convert in nanometer? So the final answer here, so you have to write with 10 to the power of 9. So dapat dalam unit nanometer lah. Okay, so the answer is 4.86 times 10 to the power of negative 7. Okay, sorry, 486 nanometer. Okay, so dapat kat sini 486 nanometer. Okay, let's look at B questions. Okay, question B, the frequency. Okay, so sekarang dia minta frequency pula. Okay, so kita padam dah lah ni. Okay, kita nak pilih formula mana? Okay, untuk B, dia minta frequency. So frequency tu adalah V. Okay, so kena cari formula yang ada V lah. The first formula, mana ada V? Second formula, tak ada V. Okay, third formula ada V. Okay, fourth formula pun ada V. Fifth dengan sixth formula tak ada V. Okay, so kalau saya guna formula number 3, nak cari V, H memang constant. Ada nilai E tak? Nilai E tak ada. So tak boleh guna formula number 3. Automatically kita akan guna formula number 4. V is equals to C over lambda. So for B is V is equals to C over lambda. So C nilai dia constant. speed of light. 3 times 10 to the power of 8. The unit is meter per second over dengan lambda. But this lambda cannot use nanometer. Macam mana nanometer nak cancel dengan meter? Tak boleh. So kita kena ambil dalam unit meter lah. So yang ini kita akan dapat 486 times 10 to the power of this one. Sorry. The answer is 486 sahaja ni. 486 nanometer. Okay. So nak convert into meter times 10 to the power of negative 9. Okay. Ni dalam unit meter. So meter cancel. So calculate dapat dalam unit per second lah. Okay. So the answer is, the frequency is 6.17 times 10 to the power of 14. 6.17 times 10 to the power of 14 per second. Okay. Negative 14, right? Negative 14, right? Sorry, 14. Okay. So okay. 6.17 times 10 to the power of 14 per second. Okay, tengok pula nak jawab untuk C. Okay, for C, dia minta the energy. So, the energy. So, C, energy. So, energy nak guna formula mana? So, formula yang first tak boleh lah sebabnya N ada satu sahaja. Okay, nak guna formula nombor 2 boleh. Sebab apa? Sebab N ada 2. Boleh je lah awak guna equals to RH 1 over N 1 squared minus 1 over N 2 squared. So, akan dapat RH 2.18 times 10 to the power of negative 80. 1 over, okay, since that dia fall back, so dia mesti dapat negatif lah. So, negative value adalah 4 squared. Daripada atas jatuh ke bawah squared. So, akan dapat nilai dalam unit joule. Okay. Lagi mana? Okay, number 3. Number 3 also can. Kalau nak guna number 3 is equals to HV. So, H nilai dia constant. 6.63, 34 times dengan V. So, V yang kita dapat ni tadilah 6.17 times 10 to the power of 14. Masih dapat jawapan yang sama dalam unit joule. Okey. Mana lagi yang ada E? Formula number 4 tak ada E, tak boleh guna. Formula number 5 ada E. Boleh juga kita guna formula number 5. E is equals to HC over lambda. So, H 6.63 times 10 to the power of negative 34. C adalah 3.0 times 10 to the power of 8 over dengan lambda adalah 486 times 10 to the power of negative 9. So, still lagi dapat dalam unit joule akan dapat jawapan yang sama. So, tak kisah guna mana-mana formula. So, akan dapat negative 4.09 times 10 to the power of negative 19 joule. But this one must be in negative. Kenapa negatif? Sebab soalan sendiri cakap dia minta the energy untuk second line. Second line produce means that dia fall back baru produce. Kalau absorb tak. So that's why the answer must be in negative. Kalau buat positif tiada markah. Okay, clear?